What's up, y'all? Part two here. We're back, episode 53, and we have a guest with us right here. Again, Grandpa Bradley Brown, and now Sippy has joined us. Well, she just went away.
Yeah,
So,
she's
she's a
that's
little
her
camera
5 minutes of
shy.
motion for the day. So
Yeah, camera shy. For those of you watching us on Spotify and YouTube, again, find us on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, the Wisdom app. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Find us on Twitter at Shoe Booty Sports. I say again, I don't think I even mentioned that in the first episode, but now you know. So there you go. All right, World Series game going on right now. Game three. Series tied 1-1. It's looking like Philly is going to go up 2-1 in the series. Up 7-0 right now, late against Houston. Just all things clicking for Philly tonight, man. But you look at their roster, and I don't know why even really I don't know why Philly wouldn't be more I don't know why they would be considered really an underdog in a lot of these games. This one, sure, just because Houston is, proven to be a problem just for multiple years now. One albeit, cheating scandal and all that in the past, but they've been legit. Nobody can argue that. But you look at Philly's lineup, especially the batting line with Schwarber and Harper, man. I mean, guys that can hit the long ball. I'm not surprised Philly is in this thing. Just seeing it on paper and the record and where they were at in the division. If you were just a casual fan, you'd be a little surprised by that. But considering how just stacked the NL East is with the Braves and Mets and Philly's right behind them there. It's a stacked division. So it's no surprise to me that Philly's doing as well as they are. But all right, you still feel good about your Astros pick to win the whole thing?
um yeah, I
I
do.
do too.
I
I do
do.
too. It's a
I
seven
want the
game
Philly I
series.
want the Phillies to win. But yeah, that being
Same.
said, if we had money on it, yeah.
Yeah, I still feel good about my Astros pick. The camera did go to Kate Upton and her friend in the stand. She's still just as gorgeous she's always been. That was the a lot of celebrities there. The Tim McGraw's there rocking a Philly uni, like the throwback one, the good ones. For one game, I wish that, MLB would let the two teams wear their throwback unis.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be dope. Like
But for some reason, I don't know.
The Phillies throwbacks are about as good as you can get as far as throwback baseball jerseys.
I'm guessing them special World Series patches that get put on the jerseys, they're really expensive, so they don't want to let them wear those retro fits. That'd
Yeah,
be
who
my
knows?
guess.
I mean, it'd be cool because the Astros. I mean, theirs are cool too. But I mean, just something about those baby blues, with that cool looking font of the P and the maroon P. That's just sharp. I like that. But yeah, I'll still go. I'll still go Astros too, even though it looks like Philly's pretty much got this one locked up. All right, in other baseball news, or not baseball news at all, in basketball news, psych, psych, gotcha. Seeing if you're paying attention, y'all. Steve Nash is officially out as the Brooklyn Nets coach, and apparently, which is comes as no shocker. Really, the only Steve Nash the only memorable Steve Nash moment from his tenure was his outburst the other night at the official that really ended up with being like in the Bucks game. And really it was if you look at the replay, you're like, well, Steve Nash had nothing to be upset about. It was a complete flop from Patty Mills. So yeah, Nat Nash out as the Nets coach. No surprise there.
Who's the
Uh,
interim coach?
I have no idea, but apparently they're already setting their sights on the Celtics. Ime Udoka, the suspended coach for the year, which is still a huge question mark as to what all happened there. Because apparently I think Brad Stevens, and this isn't 100% confirmed. This is just what I've heard on podcasts today. Like apparently they're just really not even gonna other podcast. I'll put it that way. Put up much of a fight. Like they're almost gonna let him go, which is a little surprising to me. Like had like what? It's like what all exactly happened there to the point where you're letting this young coach that got you to a that's a Greg Popovich like coming from that coaching tree and who got you to the NBA finals and you're just letting him go to Brooklyn possibly? I
What
don't
did he
know,
get
man.
suspended for again?
I was like having a consensual sexual relationship with a
Okay.
staff member, like a
Yeah.
someone in the
Yeah.
organization.
Then he's winning. His wife was somebody famous, or used to be famous.
Who are you talking
I
about?
I don't know. I'm probably getting my stories mixed up, but I
Yeah,
just
I don't know anything about that. I
eh,
just think the only rule violation is he's having a relationship with a Celtic staff member, and that's against the rule or something.
oh,
I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it is. If we're wrong, send your hate tweets to at Shoe Booty Sports on Twitter. Yeah, or just correct us. Say what happened. Of course, you never know on Twitter. You know, everybody knows what happened on Twitter, and yeah, it's oftentimes not what happened. So, we're going based on I'm going based on what I've heard. It's still kind of weird, but I want to know what happened. It's been fairly hush hush. You know that info has come out, but yeah, who knows what all really happened there? Just the whole story, you know. But that's other news, and the big news in the NBA, the Lakers got their first win the other night, beating the Nuggets. So go from 0-5 to 1-5, and the Lakers celebrated like they won the chip there in the locker room for Darvin Ham's first win, which I thought was kind of funny. I get it. You haven't had anything to cheer about this year, so you wanted to live it up a little bit, but it was a little much for getting your first win after a 0-5 start.
yeah.
But good for them. Gives them something to cheer about. So I'm not going to dog on them too much there. Did we ever find out if this is well, I clearly haven't, but if this is going to be LeBron's last year or not?
Man, I read it on the Twitterverse,
Did
so
you
it's
look
got to
into
be
that
true.
any yeah,
No, I didn't.
okay. Well, maybe we'll get that to you next week or just give it a Google after this or if we even care to think about it. I don't know. But hey, big
If
positive
it keeps
news.
going like it's going, I think he'll play another year because he ain't going out like this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a mess there. Maybe it's like if you get ship Russ off, maybe I'll stick around. If
No,
not, if we'll see what I will go to the house or I don't know, man. But hey, they got their first win. Got to start somewhere. All right. And have you seen any of the highlights of the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight? I was intrigued because Jake Paul is actually fighting somebody I consider not that the other guys weren't legitimate MMA guys, but at one point this was the best MMA fighter, you know, we had ever seen.
MMA fighter. Yes, he was the best MMA fighter.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like he beats Anderson Silva and legitimately beat him from what I didn't see the fight, but from what I've seen and you know the knockdown and all that.
Dude got knocked out twice during training, sparring.
Who, Paul or
No,
Silva?
Silva.
Yeah.
He got
Well,
knocked out twice in training, man. Like it's different, man. It's not the same.
yeah,
Not the same.
two completely different sports, man. You know, I mean, as far as
Look at,
combat sports go,
look at what Mayweather and shit. I can't believe McGregor. Look at that
McGregor.
fight, man. I mean, he could have he could have trashed him, but he just sat there and played with him for a couple of rounds.
Well,
Like,
he had a game plan. He was like he knew that Connor his tank, you know, ran out quicker than a lot of others. And so he let Connor kind of punch himself out in the first 3 rounds and then just took over. That was a better fight than I thought it would be, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was legitimately like 6-4, um, until, they stopped the fight. I thought it was a bad stoppage, that fight. Like,
Yeah.
even Connor was like, "Just let him put me down," which I was good with, like, "Hey, just let him go, man."
Hmm.
Like, I mean, make him put him down. But, I mean, Floyd did win that fight, and Floyd would have won the fight had it continued to go that way, had they continued to let it go. So it wasn't like it made a difference in the fight, but yeah, and then Jake Paul calls out Nate Diaz. Like, when are you gonna call out a boxer? Like,
Never. He's never gonna call out a
now
boxer.
he has said stuff about Canelo. He's like, "Give me so and so years and I'll fight Canelo." So he has mentioned it, and he's not ready for Canelo. So he may be playing this exactly the way he's supposed to be playing it. I mean, you can't go from these guys to jump in there with Canelo Alvarez. You got to
Oh, there.
build up some W's, get some pay-per-view buys. He's
Oh,
really
he's banking.
handling it
Yeah.
the smart way,
Yeah.
because
He's a
he's
good
stepping
businessman.
up.
Yeah.
Well, he's stepping up the competition every time, even though it's MMA guys. He's gone from Ben Askren to Anderson Silva. I mean,
Yeah.
that's his outside of John Jones, that's as big of a name as you can get from that sport.
He also went from a guy in his mid-20s to a guy in his mid-40s.
Who's that?
And Sylvan in his
Silva?
mid-40s.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, who was the guy in his mid-20s?
Askren's when Ben Askren's in his mid-20s, or he might have been
Yeah,
30, late
yeah, but
20s.
they're completely different levels of
They are.
fighters.
But I don't know. I'm sure
At
you've seen some of the tweets, saying that, oh yeah, Paul's better than Tyson or Ali ever was in their prime. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're smoking, but
I
that
didn't
is
see
not the
anybody
case.
I didn't see
It's
any
like
of that, but
Tyson would Tyson would murder them and eat their children. I mean, that's just how it would go.
I did see a lot of people saying Jake Paul is the biggest thing in boxing right now.
Yeah, that's not too hard to be.
Now, I was gonna say, now is he the best boxer? Of course not. But is he the biggest thing in boxing right now?
Yeah.
You can make that argument that he is. I mean, you saw, I don't know if you saw the arena that they fought in, but it was packed. I mean, it was jam packed. And
And
I
Showtime carried it this time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have watched the fight if it were on. I would have watched the fight. Uh, I mean, the dude's got skills. I mean, who knows? He may be able to do some serious stuff in a few years if he does it that long. I don't know. But yeah, until he really gets in there against a legitimate top ranked boxer, that's when I'll be like, okay, the guy's got a shot.
It's gonna be an uphill battle because no boxer's gonna want to be that boxer that got knocked out by Jake Paul. Like
Uh,
nobody's gonna want to take that chance.
there's a lot of money being paid though in those fights though. Like, say what you want about say what you want about him, but there's a lot of money involved in those fights, and it's not all going to Jake Paul. So I mean, you got to give him some kudos for that. And the dude knows how to, like, he knows how to be polarizing. He knows how to sell a fight. I mean, I see his like video clips, just talking shit, to all these other guys. It's fun, man. Like, it's entertaining as hell. It makes me want to see what happens. So I didn't see what he said about Nate Diaz, but I would watch that. I'm not necessarily going to pay to see it, but I would totally watch that fight. I get He's figured out his shtick, him and his brother both, and I mean, they're maximizing it.
What's the size difference between him and Diaz? Like it's got to be substantial.
I don't know. I mean, Jake Paul's a much bigger guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because his
Like
is
that wouldn't be
yeah,
much of a fight. But
yeah.
who
Well,
knows, man?
I don't know. Nate Diaz can fight, but
He can fight.
in a boxing match, yeah, I would take Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Um, I mean the
Um,
guy's got some skills, and yeah, so like I said, he's found his shtick, and he's maximizing it. So we'll see who's next, I guess. But okay, you got a score update, World Series. I still see 7 on the little corner of my TV from the back room I'm in.
yeah, it's 7-0, top of the 8th inning
Okay, so it looks like the Phillies
with
got
two
this
with
one.
two out. Yeah.
And it looks like the Phillies are going to take this one. But until then, we will get out of here and I guess go watch the rest of this game, and then we'll see y'all next week. But until then, this is Grandpal.
Brother Brown.
All right, deuces, y'all. And Sippy's back there somewhere. That's Bradley's dog, by the
Yeah,
way, for those of you wondering.
uh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
she's
belly
not
her up.
getting up.
Yeah, she's good. All right. And neither are we. Not this week. We're out, y'all.